Most people don't know about the man that survived 438 days alone at sea. Well, his name is José Alvarenga, and he did just that in 2014, before finally being rescued. And you'll never believe how he managed to survive. On November 17th, 2012, Alvarenga and another Mexican fisherman named Ezequiel Cordoba set sail off the coast of Mexico on a fishing trip that was supposed to last 30 hours, with the goal of catching some deep-sea marlins and sailfish. Their fiberglass skiff, which was just 7 meters or 23 feet long, was equipped with one outboard motor and a refrigerator-sized icebox to store fishing. Alvarenga and Cordoba knew a storm was approaching, but they decided to take their chances, given they could make enough money from one successful fishing trip to last them a week in Mexico. As they made it to their spot, 75 miles or 120 kilometers off the coast, a storm rolled in, and it was much more vicious than they had thought. In a panic, the men cut off all their fishing supplies in order to make themselves more maneuverable and started booking it back to the shore. As they managed, they finally made it back to just 15 miles or 24 kilometers away from the coast, where they could see the mountains on the horizon. The fishermen faced an awful turn of events. Their one outboard motor died, and the winds were still too strong to try and paddle back to shore with their bare hands. Their radio still worked, thankfully, and they were able to get in contact with their boss, who sent out a search party looking for the fishermen. However, soon after communicating with their boss, the radio also died, and things became very silent. The fishing gear they once had was now at the bottom of the ocean from the storm, and the search party was finally called off after 2 days of not finding the men. With odds of survival extremely slim, the men were forced to catch fish, turtles, and birds that landed on their boat with their bare hands. Cordoba eventually lost all hope 4 months in and refused to eat, starving himself to death. 11 months in, and Alvarenga had now traveled about 5,000 miles across the Pacific and was still somehow surviving. Finally, on January 30th, 2014, 438 days since, and 6,000 miles from where Alvarenga initially set sail, he spotted coconuts bobbing around his boat. Spotting land on the horizon, he left the boat to swim to shore and stumbled upon a beach house in the Marshall Islands with a family inside. Alvarenga was then helped and returned to El Salvador after receiving care from a hospital, but was welcomed home to a lawsuit from Cordoba's family, who alleged he had eaten Cordoba's body in order to survive, which Alvarenga denied, claiming that would be against his Christian faith, and that he had promised Cordoba he would never do that before his death.